My name is Josh from Afro Nation.
Hi, I'm Esosa from Afro Nation, and you're watching the
Hip Hop Guru.
My name is Alex, this is the Hip Hop Guru, and today we have some very special guests, our friends, the ones who run Afro Nation. How are you guys doing?
Feeling good, bro?
Feeling good.
Very excited to be here.
This is also a Toronto resident, one of Toronto's very own. So I wanted to say also welcome back to Toronto. You know, you guys have had a lot going on since we last linked up, and I wanted to ask you guys right off the bat, when you hear the word Afro Nation, what song comes to your mind?
I'll start off. I think one of my personal favorites and a crowd favorite was Last, Burna Boy. What that song's been able to achieve, obviously through streaming on all the social platforms, all the things that he's been awarded, do you know what I mean, through all of these platforms, it's crazy. That song is a global smash. It's a sensation. You have people from different cultures also, you know, saying Shayo and Igbo. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So for me, that's something that's very, very special. Yeah, that's my song.
Not to continue the Burna Boy train, but definitely It's Plenty. When he performed that at Portugal last year, that was a moment. Like, just hearing the crowd sing that song back to him, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. But I do have a second one in this Bounce by Rema, just because there is a lot of like shaking ass at Afro Nation. But those two, probably my favorite. Those are my songs.
No, that's amazing. So I wanted to get into like talking about like, especially like last year, seeing Burna Boy perform. It was one of the best performances I've seen in my life, from like how everything was running to the stage presence to everything. It was just such a really good time being there. But I wanted to talk to you about like last year's show, the Portugal, this year's show, and then so we'll get into that. So what's the biggest difference with the festival this year versus the previous year?
I think for this year's edition, it is unique that we are just focusing solely on the festival. We will, you know, have a lead-up party towards that, which will be a good experience. But I think setting the foundations initially in Detroit was important. So we had like the comedy show, we had panels as well. So it's a new experience, right? And we're going into new territory. So you have to kind of like lay the foundations of, we are Afro Nation, this is what we stand for, and you want the people to be able to embrace it. Now, there's still going to be outsiders who, you know, aren't really too sure of what this is in terms of what we do. But this year, it's solely focusing on the festival, an amazing lineup as well, continuing to bridge the gap and connect the dots amongst the, you know, amongst that territory, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely, I think overall for us, for all our festivals, our main focus now is the customer experience. At first, it was about championing the African sound, and it's like, now we've done it. You guys know Burna, Wizkid, Rema, you know all the artists now. Now it's kind of just like making sure that the customers have the best time. So even in Portugal, we had more activations than we've ever had before. We had like a beach club takeover. It was just more immersive, and we're trying to bring that same energy to Detroit.
No, that's cool. So talk about like putting those activations on. Like, how is it on like the back end for people that don't know, like running that and putting it all together? Like, what is it like putting the festival together from an outside perspective?
I think it's a huge team effort. Big shout out to Obi Asuka and Smade as well, the founders of Afro Nation. They've got a big vision for Africa. The sound is global now. Our music it carries weight. It's a reckoning force as well. So we just want to continue to champion that and be the best that we can be through everything that we do. And that goes from the production to the talent to the experience. All of these things have to be first class for the customer to keep coming back and coming back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What to say about from the outside looking in? I think the secret is it has to be crazy for it to work. Like, everybody's such like an expert in their field, but we all bring a tiny bit of some sort of craziness to the mix that just makes it all work. Because there are times when we're sitting in the office and we have all these big ideas, and you're sitting there like, this isn't it's not gonna make sense. I remember when Obi was like, oh, we're gonna have Nicki Minaj. And we were like, yeah, that's a great idea. That's not gonna happen. And then just sent an email. Nicki Minaj confirmed. Like, well, damn. I guess now we have Nicki Minaj. Like, I think it's just we just have crazy ideas, but you have people who believe in what we're doing, and it's like they'll see it through. So I think for us, it's just there. It's having that craziness, having that belief, and then the team comes together and like we just smash it.
No, that's amazing. So, like, talk about, like, with the Portugal show, you guys did get Nicki Minaj. How was that, like, the process, booking, and, you know, really having that whole experience with the show and performance and all that?
Yeah, I think once again it's one that is special to us. Having that US act always opens up your audience, you know, as well, where it's just like we know what the core is, but there'll be people who aren't really into the Afro beats, you know, who just want to just experience Portugal. So how can you get those outside people in? And you've got such a big draw in Nicki Minaj, you know, and it's special. We knew what it did, obviously, ticket-wise for us, and in terms of like socials, it was really, really amazing. So as a brand, we always want to continue to do things that people don't expect, you know, as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can always go for like, you know, the specific talent, but when you do something like Nicki Minaj, it's just like, wow, do you know, so it's just crazy.
I saw in her performance too. She also had like all the different flags come up on the stage too, which was really a nice touch. That was cool.
And you can tell that, you know, people from the States are actually, you know, really trying to, you know, embrace this. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just a performance and getting out. It's like, no, how can I put my own unique stamp on this, you know, and know that for 2024, like Nicki Minaj was present. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. 50 Cent and Nicki, you know, just keep. Who's the next one? You know.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. No, that's cool. What is it about Portugal that like makes it so different?
Wow, that's another great question. I think Portugal has been a destination for many Europeans as well, especially from the UK. There's always been that connection there. We boast having one of like the best beaches in the world. We've got like a blue flag beach. So we bring in a lot of tourism. We give back a lot to the communities. This is something that's also important to us. It's not just about putting on a festival. It's being able to give back as well through
amazing.
The Afro Nation experience.
Yeah, for us, yeah, like Josh said, for us is more than just a festival. We also want to empower the local community. Portugal, yeah, that's just like, it's like home now. I think there's obviously, not to get like deep, but there's obviously deep history when it comes to like Portugal and Africa. So it's kind of, in a way, kind of like reclaiming our own like history and the space. Like, but aside from that, the beauty of us, like, you just have 40,000 black people on this beach in Portugal is incredible. The locals love us. You know, we do so much for their tourism. It's just like, yeah, it's just an incredible time. Like, I don't know how to describe Portugal. Like, you guys need to come out to experience it. Like, it's
Oh, definitely. Next year I'm gonna be there.
Yes,
Please, bro. It's
I'd appreciate that. You heard that. I'm gonna be there next year.
Yeah, sir.
Portugal is one of the places I want to go on my bucket list too. It seems like such a nice place. But with that in mind, you know, seeing the growth of the genre and everything around it, how is it seeing like even award shows like show love and all that now, and seeing all these new nominations and taking over the world?
Yeah, it really is great. Once again, shout out to Obi, Asuka, and Smaid for this amazing concept and vision. I remember back in the days where, you know, we had all of this amazing talent, but there was no platform for them, you know. These are global superstars that are doing amazing things through their streaming, through their YouTube numbers, and so on and so forth. So if the powers that be are not going to give them a platform, we're going to give them that platform, and they'll be able to perform to their own people. So that was the ultimate goal. It's working. It's going to continue to work. It's going to continue to grow. And that's the plan, man. Just like total domination, you know, and being prideful and having and understanding that sense of heritage of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love that. So let's talk about Detroit. Last year we went to the show. One of the craziest times of my life. Everything. I remember going backstage and I saw you back there. And I don't know how you were operating, man. You're just like running back and forth. You guys did the collaboration with the Detroit Pistons and everything. You guys had the special jerseys and all that. And I think that got to give you a pat on the back for being able to even, run that. So like, what's the how was it booking even Lil Wayne, man? Like that's impossible. How did you do that?
I know. Lil Wayne is an artist that you don't really see him on much. He's very selective with the festivals and shows that he does. But having the relationships, obviously, with their team, we're able to get it over the line. He believed in the show. It's something that's also new to him as well. And then within the booking process, we always have this idea of, as I said, being able to bridge the gap. So it's a situation of where can we be able to give a piece of every genre to the customer. So we've got the hip-hop headliner in Lil Wayne. We've got the core in the Afrobeats of Rema and Shaka. We've got Canada's, very
Party
own,
Next Door,
Party Next Door in there. We've got Shenzia also in there. And then something that's very, very dear to us is the I'm a Piano, Piano People stage, where we've got Uncle Waffles and Scorpion Kings headlining that as well. So when we book the festival, there is something for everyone to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
That's amazing. And there's never a dull moment during the show. There's always something going on.
Always something going on.
No, that's amazing. So what's going to be the difference this year with this Detroit show versus the previous year?
The difference, I think it's a much bigger customer experience. Like even, like the Pistons are back this year, working with us on this show. What they did last year was cool. They're expanding on what they did last year. So there's even like an activation. I don't want to spoil too much because they do have plans to announce it. So they have some activations. We have more brands and even like local like businesses that want to be involved and activate on the site. I think is a much more immersive experience for the customers. So very excited for like everybody to come to site and like see how we almost made like Afro Nation world. And it's like, it almost feels like you're leaving Detroit when you come to Afro Nation. So very excited for everyone to see it.
That's going to be amazing. Definitely looking forward. Who are you guys most excited to see perform?
For me, it will be Ashake. I love what he's doing at the moment. The progression of his career, the music is sensational. The way he's connecting the dots with Central C, all this kind of stuff. He's just announced his O2 London show, which is going to be amazing when that goes on sale. He's got a new album coming out. Once again, he's speaking in his own dialect, and people across the world are like singing these words back to back. That's something special.
Mm-hmm.
For me, as an adult girl, as a Benin babe, Rema, my number one, love him. Love the fact that he's like championing that like Edo culture. Like I think when it comes, especially for Nigerian Afrobeats, we see a lot of like the Yorubas and the Igbos represented, but we have like Rema who's fully championing like the Edo sound and like the Edo culture, and like, I just love to see. It's like, yes, teach them about our culture. We are kings and queens. Thanks.
That's amazing. No, I love that. Honestly, seeing how far it's progressed over the years. Last time we were talking about how even Smade started like with all the shows and the progression over the years, seeing the pictures with like WizKid at the beginning and helping bring to the levels of going to that like O2 Arena show when they did that, and then to the heights it's at now. It's just a beautiful thing to see, So shout out to Smade as well.
Shout out to Smade.
Festival aside, like what's the best advice you guys have ever received to like kind of pivoted your life?
I think for me, always put God first in all that you do. Have your foundations, and just what you believe in. Just constantly pursue it. Have a vision board. Set goals and so on and so forth. But for me, it's putting God first.
Mm-hmm. Like that.
I feel like mine is not as powerful as God. Mine would be your biggest fan. I'm a big champion of you have to be your biggest supporter. Run the Esosa fan club or insert your name fan club. Definitely that. And I also believe that you do have like the tools and everything necessary inside you to achieve whatever goal or dream you're trying to do. So my mom always tells me, and I believe it. Mom's always right.
No, that's the truth. That's the thing. You have to be your number one fan, right? Because people are going to think you're crazy on what you're trying to do until it actually works. And they'll tell you that you're a genius, and then it's like, okay, thank you for not believing me before.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you got it. So that's all that matters. No, that's cool. So when are we going to get a Toronto show? When's that happening? All right, we gotta call up the mayor or something.
Yes. When Toronto is ready for us, we're ready. We'll be here.
We love this city, and it's gonna happen when the time is right.
That's
It
it. Everything
definitely-
in due timing.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's amazing. What is something that the general public would not know about Afro Nation?
I think for me, well, for both of us, obviously being in the midst of it all, it's the sacrifice and the blood, sweat, and tears that no one sees. You know, as I said, we boast one of the most amazing experiences out there. We are the world's biggest Afrobeats festival. So it all looks like glitz and glam, but there's always there's always someone behind the scenes that's continuing to push, sweat, to make everyone proud of where they're from, Africa. So,
Mhm. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. What is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I think we've covered it all.
Amazing. All right, that's another episode of the Sit Down. We have two of the most running people of all time and two of the biggest people in festivals of all time. Thank you guys for your time. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate you, Alex, bro. Every time.
Appreciate it, guys. All right, that's another episode of the Sit Down. Peace.
Wow.